In this video, we're going to be looking at ways that we can parent objects together. This is going to allow us to treat multiple objects as if they were one object, so we can resize them, rotate them and animate them all at the same time. For this particular scene, I have a snowman and a tree, and I have my camera here. To see what the camera sees, I can actually press 0 on the numpad. And as you can see here, the snowman is behind the tree. To get out of this view, hit 0 on the numpad again. So, rotating round, I want to move this snowman forward. And to select every part of the snowman, I can hold down Shift on my keyboard, and I can select the different components of the snowman, and then I can move the whole thing forward. That seems to solve it. But it's quite clumsy, and if I wanted to, say, select it again and move it to the right, I'd have to go through the same process of holding down Shift and selecting every single part of the snowman to move it. That's quite clumsy, it's quite time consuming. We're going to be using something called parenting instead. And parenting allows you to parent one object to another object. In the case of this snowman, we're going to break it down into its parts. So we have the head and we have the body. And attached to the head, we have the eyes, the hat and the nose. So what I do first of all is I select the things that are attached to the head. So I select the hat, holding down Shift, I select an eye, another eye, and the nose. Remember, holding down Shift all the time when you're selecting them. And finally, you select the things that all of those other things are connected to. So I select the head. And you can tell it's selected by the orange line that surrounds everything. Over on the Relations tab, I go to Parent, Set, and I click on Object. And now, all the things that I've just selected are attached to the head. If I move the head, you can see everything moves at the same time. I can also rotate, and I can resize if I want to as well. But this isn't perfect, because if I move the body, the head isn't attached to it. But we go through the same process again. We select the thing that is attached to the body. So we select the head, holding down Shift, we then select the thing that the head is attached to, which is the body. So we right click there. Let's go through it again. We select the head, right click on the body, holding down Shift. Now, under Relationships, we click on Set, we click on Object, and now I can actually move the body all at the same time and everything at the same time. So if I do click away, all I need to do is click on the body and I can move that. And remember, the head is separate, so I can click on the head and I can move the head on its own, and then I can select the body and I move the whole thing together. So let's put that back to where it was. What's actually happening here is we are dealing with different objects, and you can see another way of doing this over here in this panel. Now I have something here called Sphere. Well, we know it's not called Sphere, we know it should be called the snowman's body. So if you go to the cube down here, which is the object selection mode, you can click on Sphere and you can name that snowman body. Oops, make sure it's spelled right. So we now have a nice name for that snowman body, and Sphere 1, not a very good name, should be called snowman head. So again, snowman head. This is a much neater way of storing all your objects so you don't get confused. And you can see the relationship between them. We've got the snowman's body with the snowman head underneath it, and underneath the snowman head we've got cone, cylinder, sphere and sphere. I can also see the relationship between different things by moving this head here. If I move the head, you can see this little black dotted line. This tells me that this head is connected or parented to this body. And if you do want to move things around, you can actually drag and drop things up here. So if I go and I drag this right to the top and drop it there, you see that the head is now free from the body. If I want to connect it to the body, I just drag it on top of the snowman body, and now the two things are connected again.